Hi, and welcome to another edition of Beer for Breakfast ABV. I am Danielle from The Moke Show on 91X, and as always, I've got Paul Segura with me, brewmaster from Karl Strauss. And today, we're doing just something a little bit different. We've got Newtopia Cider with us today. We've got founder Rick, as well as mood director Ryan over here. And welcome to Beer for Breakfast, guys.
Thank you.
So before we started with the semi-sweet.
Got it.
So what can you tell me about the semi-sweet?
Well, it's our flagship cider, and it's made with 5 different apples. So it's Fuji, Gala, Honeycrisp, Red Delicious, and Granny Smith. And it's an off-dry semi-sweet cider. It's very herbaceous. We use the eucalyptic leaf to dry spice. So brewers will dry hop, and we essentially dry spice. It's made with the champagne yeast, and we blend it with hibiscus flowers as well. So it just medaled at SDIBF a couple years ago, and we've taken that to market, and it's great. We enjoy it.
So good.
It's easy to consume.
It's super good. I love this. So the blend of apples is to achieve a certain flavor that you guys are looking for, and you use different varieties and different amounts and percentages.
Precisely. Yep, that's exactly. There's.
I mean, how do you arrive at something like this, man? This must take a ton of R&D and.
There's a lot of work on the front end, so we're always engaging with orchardists that have different varietals to acquire that perfect amount of tannin. The natural sweetness of malic acid has to be there too in the apples. So
smaller apples have more flavor, right?
Yep, those are called spitters. Okay. So those are. I mean, you don't actually eat those. You just use them for a little bit more sharp tannin on the back end.
Yeah.
And then we have culinary and then dessert.
Yeah.
And so we do a blend of those. And this is actually used with champagne yeast. We use yeast to create flavor. And so all of our apples are flash pasteurized on site on orchard to control flavor. Yeah. And then we get to use different yeast strains like this one. It's a Belgian Saison beer yeast that we use in our blend. So it's very fruity and phenolic. It's called the fine apple. And
you can use the same yeast, right? Same yeast for wine and or beer.
Yeah, precisely. We'll use live yeast over at White Labs. That happens to pitch really nicely with us. Thank you. And it creates really nice flavors.
I love the flavor that the champagne yeast gave to the last one. I'm looking forward to the Saison yeast in this one.
Yeah, it's the colors, elderberry.
Definitely elderberry forward,
So pretty.
And it's a flavonoid, so it helps the immune system.
It looks like a rosé.
Doesn't it? Yeah.
That's pretty.
And cardamom's a spice. And pineapple's kind of the afterthought in the very back end of it. It's got this kind of fruity phenolic nose to it.
You can smell that.
I like that it's not overly sweet. It's got a nice dry finish at the end. It doesn't really linger with you. No. Like once you're done, you want more because it didn't stick around.
Precisely.
That's what I dig about all your stuff, though. It's not. I think people have this stigma with cider that it's going to be really sweet.
So true.
So all of yours are really dry and drinkable.
Yeah, that's the way we like it. I mean, it continues to want to drink more. It's refreshing, particularly on hot, summer days in San Diego.
I mean, like every day?
Like every day, 360 days a year. But
we always say the sign of a well-made beer is it leaves you wanting another one. Same deal with cider, right? Like
absolutely.
You take one sip and you're hooked, and you want more and more.
Yep.
In fact, this is probably, I don't know, kind of snipery because the ABVs can get a little high, and you think like it's so refreshing, you're just crushing it. And
you do. It sneaks up on you.
It sneaks up on you.
It does.
So Rick, to get a little bit of your background, you are born and raised San Diego, right? Like you grew up in the neighborhood of where the brewery is.
In the ranch.
You've just always kind of been there.
Yeah. I wanted to pay homage to Scripps Ranch. Ball's Point used to be there. They're one of their original brew houses was there, and still is. So it was nice. I got a chance to be in the beer culture early, I think. I just see it around neighbors and friends would have it. Even to this day, we have cul-de-sac parties with Newtopia that we sponsor, and other breweries sponsor it as well. So it's nice to have that community to get behind our brand, get behind our cider, and continue to educate new patrons that come in.
And your tasting room is really, really unique. Yeah, when you go, it is absolutely beautiful, and all the wood everywhere.
San Diego urban timber.
Yeah, there's a story behind it, right?
That's right.
Yeah, they're cool.
Eucalyptus.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we had to work with San Diego Urban Timber. They were great. They helped us go out and pick the select wood that, in the ranch and be able to just recycle it, of course. And we made a 65-foot eucalyptus beer bar, cider bar, and all of our handles. And Ryan takes all those to market just to make sure that everyone knows where it's where it's made. That's important to us.
That sets the mood, right?
Correct.
It is the mood.
Pretty important. Yeah, it kind of is.
Yeah,
it says something about you guys and where your heart's at, and.
Yeah.
Recycling, repurposing.
Have to.
Yeah.
It's ideal, right?
So. And then you're utilizing, eucalyptus from
the ranch.
Yeah, from the ranch itself.
Yeah, and we use pumice, spent pumice to feed pig farms.
Yeah.
And then we do a lot of spent products with cider, like Malahat's spent rum-soaked ginger.
Oh.
That will blend in with strawberries and champagne.
Awesome.
So I would assume that's the time of year that you guys are like in crunch mode. It's October, it's like apple season. So are you just like scouring the apples from everywhere?
It is, yeah, everything from Temecula, Fallbrook, Mendocino, Sonoma, even parts of Yakima, Hood River, Eastern Wenatchee, Eastern Washington. So it's a lot of engagement with the agriculture side, which I think why we like it the best. We can reconnect with these farms and take their product and showcase it. It's just like hops. You're showcasing different varietals, and they won't give their apples to everyone.
Oh, you got to be in the apple club.
You got to be in the club. You got to be tied in.
So you just take them a couple cans and go, look what we're doing with this.
That's
right. You're hooked.
Correct.
Well, so something that came up a couple weeks ago on Beer for Breakfast was how climate changes hops. And sometimes people will be like, oh, like this beer doesn't taste the way it used to, and it's because climate has changed the hops, and so it doesn't taste the same every season. Do you deal with the same thing with apples?
Absolutely. Like, for example, in Sonoma, after the fires, they didn't water a lot of their orchards because they wanted to maintain it to water their houses, to not get burnt down. So what that did is that it increased the tannin and the bricks, and the apples are less yield, and so it costs more money to crush and press to get a small amount of yield. So it's a very ebb and flow market, just probably like hops too. There's a certain demand for a specific varietal. Yeah, and so
you guys can be kind of opportunistic sometimes with that kind of stuff, right? So the smaller apples yield more flavor.
Precisely.
So you probably were able to create something really cool from those apples.
Yeah, it's like the Jonathan apples that we use a lot up in Mendocino, the Gravenstein apple, which is very popular. You can't get these apples down in Southern California.
Gravensteins are like Sebastopol area, right?
You're absolutely right.
California.
Yep.
I've been to that orchard, or the orchards near Hood River. That's beautiful country there,
It's just apple circle. It's beautiful.
I like
Super
the Red
cool.
Delicious.
Yes, very popular.
The only apple that I know, the Granny Smith.
It's in our blend.
It is.
They're wonderful apples.
Yes.
So when I first met you guys, you were just coming off of your grand opening. You now have been open for about 1.5 years. You had your year anniversary this past April.
Congrats on that.
Thank you.
I see you guys everywhere now. I see a Newtopia handle everywhere. What has the last 1.5 years been like, from beginning to end?
Yeah, it's been good. It's been a roller coaster ride. So we've started small in distribution last year. We started with like 20 key accounts was our idea. We targeted 20 local like beer bars, craft beer bars, because our opinion was that the cider had a place in the craft beer community. Working with breweries as well. We've done a lot of collaborations with breweries. And so we kind of targeted out a local footprint. And then we took that we grew to that 20 very quickly, and then had a lot of other interests. So we took that. Right now we're pouring from, not everywhere, but from Chula Vista basically up to like Orange County.
Oh,
so
wow,
we've got a pretty
awesome.
far-reaching stretch. It's been a challenge to do all that, but it's been fun. It's been a nice ride. We've got only minimal things up in the Orange County area, but a few. And we're starting to dip our toes in that market up there a little bit.
So it's a nice alternative, like in craft beer bars, for people who might be gluten sensitive as well. I mean,
correct.
Oh yeah.
Not just people who want an alternative to beer, but people who kind of need one sometimes.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
That's pretty rad. You mentioned collabs. I'm pretty excited about one that you guys are doing with AleSmith. If it's not letting the cat out of the bag, people might want to know about that.
Yeah, Collabapalooza's coming up.
Yeah.
It is, and we're excited to be in it. I think that some of the best San Diego breweries will be a part of that, and it's nice that the San Diego beer scene has welcomed us in. Because we don't have a lot of resources to go to. You remember how it was in the guild back in the day? Yeah. It was just you few. That's what we are today. So with Peter and with the AleSmiths team, we're doing this really unique graph beer, and that's a new genre of beer I think will start to pop up around.
What is it?
And so, it's essentially graph. So graphing apple trees, you're taking two separate, stems and graphing them together. It's similar to like what a graph beer would be. It's 51% beer wort, malt, hops, 49% 5-apple blend on our end. And so they're making this really cool dry cuvee graph beer on their side. They're going to use some
perfect collaboration.
It sounds so unique and different, and that's what I love about Collabapalooza.
It is.
Like, just to give Collabapalooza a quick little plug, if you didn't go last year, go this year, because these are the times you're not going to find these beers anywhere else other than at Collabapalooza. I mean, like, I know you guys always have them like at the tasting room for like a very limited amount of time, but it's not like you'll get these beers again.
No.
It's that special.
Even one-offs. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And normally when people team up, like them and AleSmith, they do something really special, like graph,
That's so cool.
Looking forward to that.
It's time.
too.
Yeah, we're really stoked.
So this beer, Chimea River, I love the name of it.
Yeah.
It is, it's the San Diego cider. I mean, we made it specifically for San Diego. We used a decaffeinated blend of chai. We used chamomile that we dry spiced to calm the body down. And then we dry spiced with chrysanthemum flowers to actually drop your body temperature down and act as a normal body coolant.
No kidding.
So the more you consume, the cooler you get.
Oh, so
I had no idea about that. That's pretty cool.
amazing.
Yeah.
Wish I had known about this during those heat waves.
I mean, so you're
right?
talking about that stuff, but you also get the Thai spices in there. I mean,
do.
it smells like Thai.
It is. Yeah, it's got a great nose, Thai chai nose.
Tai
Tai Chi.
And but it's it just took gold at SCIBF, and it's one of our most popular ciders on the market.
That's delicious, man.
Yeah.
It is
What's the
delicious.
ABV on this one?
This one's 5.8.
I like that they are all very manageable.
They're right in the wheelhouse, man,
Yeah.
for drinking.
These are perfect.
Session the heck out of these.
I think they're like perfect hiking beers.
Yes. They are perfect hyping
It's in a
beers.
can. You throw it in your bag.
Correct.
You get to the
Crushable.
top. Like, it's nice and refreshing.
Absolutely. And they're, single serving 16-ounce size, or the 32 ounces you can share it over dinner.
I love it.
So with that, what would you pair this with?
We've paired this with fish. We've paired this with steak. We've actually made soups out of this.
Desserts.
We've made a ton of desserts out of this. And
Chai sorbet, which was...
Do you guys do like the equivalent of beer dinners?
We do.
We do.
Pairing with chefs and stuff?
Absolutely.
We do.
So we
Cool.
just did one with Tyson over at O'Brien's.
Oh, nice.
Really cool.
He's definitely a good one to do it with.
He is.
He knows what he's doing.
He does. And he showcased, of course, his birthday bacon with
I was just going to ask.
with a wonderful jazz apple to it, and paired it with the Chimea River, and it was just nice. Just complements the bacon.
Have you had the birthday bacon yet? You gotta have the birthday bacon at least once.
I have not had the
Must have.
birthday
Well,
bacon.
it's different each time for every dinner that they do there, and their dinners are amazing.
Tyson, we're calling you out right
Yes.
now. Just saying. You guys just recently opened up another tasting room up in San Marcos, right next to Cal State San Marcos, right?
Yes.
How is that going?
It's amazing. It took a long time to build. I think it's the right spot for growth. I think there's a lot of underserved population out there for cider and beer. Hop Highway is close, which is nice. So we have a lot of neighbors. But it's right on a college campus. It couldn't be better. I mean, literally faculty and, their staff comes over all the time. And it's just really apt for college kids to understand at an early age that there is craft cider out there. That's the biggest part, is being able to condition them early.
Yeah. I mean, everybody, really. There's still, I think people who haven't found out about this, you got to seek it out and taste it, man.
I think that you're automatic when you like you said earlier, when you hear cider, you automatically think sweet. You think really, really sweet. You think, no offense to, some of those people out there, but they don't like beer. You know, I work in a tasting room, and I get the instant like, "Do you have a cider?" And I'm like, "Well, I don't have a cider, but I have some other stuff." And it's like, "No, I want something sweet." I think that if you just enjoy a really well-made beer. This isn't even beer, it's cider.
That's
cider with a Y. I think that's the difference. That's the difference.
It is a difference.
It's the Y is what makes the difference. But I mean, I love it. I'm a hophead. I've had plenty of your guys' ciders, and I think that they speak to every kind of beer drinker.
I mean, the raw ingredient is important, right? You know this, Paul. Everything is 100% from orchard to glass, and that makes the difference. There's a lot of other cider houses out there that will ship in block yeast or block apples in powder form, right, and send it out in stainless steel vats from China out to San Diego, hydrate it with water, and then ferment. There's a difference.
Yeah.
Particularly with mouthfeel and flavor and tannin. Yeah. I mean, there's a big difference in what we do, and you can taste it.
Yeah.
To me, what I can taste is how all the different flavors and all the different like ingredients that you guys, all the different raw materials that are in every brand that you do, play with each other in a really nice way. There's like this beautiful harmony that exists in every different beer that I've had from you, or beer.
Cider. It's all good.
Cider, I know, right?
You guys,
yeah.
And all these flavors work in harmony with each other really in an awesome way.
They'll layer really nice.
Yeah, really do.
You make a good point. It's very malleable.
Yeah.
Very malleable.
Well, and you guys just have a great vibe also. I mean, from the art on your cans to the vibe when you're inside the tasting room to just like your guys' vibes alone. Like it's just this like really calming, great energy type of place. So if you want good vibes, look no further than Newtopia Cider.
Yeah.
Awesome. Rick, Ryan, thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. You guys are
Appreciate
super
that.
duper rad.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now people can put a name or face with the behind the product.
There it is. Yes. So 2 tasting rooms, Scripps Ranch.
Scripps Ranch, yep.
San Marcos.
And San Marcos, yep.
Websites?
Yep, it's just www.drinknewtopia.com. Follow our handle too, or at Drinknewtopia or at Newtopia Cider on all of our handles, social media.
Oh, and you guys are like on it with social media too.
Have to.
I always know what's going on, like releases going on, beer dinners, anything.
Got
you guys are super awesome with that.
Follow into us, follow us.
Do it. Rick, Ryan, thank you so much.
Thank you guys.
Cheers.
Thanks for
As
having me.
always, thank
Cheers.
you.
Cheers.
And thanks for hanging out with us for another Beer for Breakfast ABV. Friday morning, Paul will come in and talk to us on the Moog Show, me, John, and Jared, about what you should be drinking this weekend. So make sure you tune in on Friday morning at 9:20, and pretty sure we're going to be drinking some ciders on Friday morning.
I'm definitely going to be telling you all to drink this, for sure.
Yeah, all right. Thanks. Cheers.
Cheers.
Drink local cider.
Yes.
Cider with a Y.
Cider with the Y.
Yes.
91X.